Pretties, it's Angela here. In today's video we're going to be making a couple of pair of earrings using these Chandelier findings from BeeBeeCraft. If you're not familiar with BeeBeeCraft, I will post a link for their website down below, as well as a link for these findings. These I did an unboxing video, and at the time of filming, these are 60 pieces. There's 30 different styles. There's 30 sets of 2 pieces for each style, and they were $11.59 on their website. So I'm going to be using 2 sets of Chandelier findings from this box, and these are the ones I'm going to be using. And for this one, I did glue on a Swarovski rhinestone flat back just to give it a little extra sparkle at the top. There was like a little hole there, and I said, you know, that'd be a perfect spot for a little rhinestone. So I did glue those on, and I just used a little touch of E6000 and let that dry. So the first pair of earrings is like super simple, super quick. I'm going to be using Swarovski crystals in both of these earrings, and in the first pair I had these really beautiful cubes. They're like half silver coated and half clear crystal. Whoops, wouldn't be a video if I didn't drop something. So that's those, and there's the beautiful square crystals. And I know when I did my unboxing of the BeeBeeCraft products, I said these reminded me of a ribbon for a package, so that's why I went ahead and decided to use the square crystal bead. So I did get a couple of little spacers out of my stash, and these are just like a little, it almost looks like 2 spacers stacked on top of each other, and they're like a diamond shaped, or it could be square shaped depending on the way you look at it. And so all I did for this pair of earrings is I took a head pin, strung on my spacer bead, that beautiful Swarovski crystal cube bead, and another spacer bead. And I am going to use my one-step loopers. I'm just using the 1.5mm loop, a small loop on this one. Give that a bend up to close it. And did I attach? I did attach it with a jump ring. So I am going to make sure that I close this completely. It is almost closed, but I'm just going to squeeze it closed just a little bit more to make sure that it's completely closed. Okay, and then I'm going to grab a jump ring, and I'm just using really small little 4mm jump rings. I'm going to open that up. Place my bead on the jump ring and attach it to that earring finding and close that up. Okay, and that's it. That is, but you see how it just turned an ordinary bead, like, and there's nothing wrong with simplistic. If you just wanted to have that dangling from your ear, there's nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely beautiful. You don't need much added to a Swarovski crystal, but it reminded me of the package, and like that would be the ribbon on top of the package, and I just thought it made it extra pretty to add that to that Chandelier finding. So I'm just going to open my ear wire, put that component on, close it up, and you have a beautiful pair of earrings. So that was the first pair, and I know that those went really, really quick, so that's why I'm going to be doing a second pair. But that's the first pair done, and look how beautiful those are. I really like these findings from BeeBeeCraft. They're very good quality. They're not real thin. They won't bend easily, and those Swarovski crystals are just amazing. So the next pair we're going to make are these beautiful Chandelier ones. We're using some bicone Swarovski crystals and a little cross charm that I had in my stash, and the cross charm has the hole running through the top, so kind of like a brulette. You have to make do, although that is a larger hole, so I can use a jump ring to attach that, a larger jump ring. So what we're going to do first is make our 3 dangles for our earring. We are going to do a dangle, some chain, and then the dangle with the drop. So we're going to need an eye pin for that middle one. So we're going to make 2 links or dangles, however you want to call them, with headpins, and I have these little spacer beads. These again are flat spacer beads, and they are again in kind of like a diamond shaped or a square shape, depending on how you want to look at it. I'm trying to get it to focus. Camera's not wanting to focus. There we go. Okay. So they're like little diamond shaped, a little square shaped, and they're thin. It's just one little spacer bead. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 spacers on my head pin. One of the beautiful, let me show you those. I didn't show you those. These beautiful bicone crystals. And they're like a, kind of like a peachy colored crystal with the aurora finish over on top. Which makes them pick up pinks, and you can see the sparkle in those crystals. I'm really kind of sad. I heard the Swarovski is going to be discontinuing crystals, which is kind of crazy, but which is sad, but it makes me want to use some and hoard some all at the same time. Okay, so I have 2 spacers of crystal and 2 spacers. I'm going to use my 1-step looper and make that into a dangle. Okay, I'm going to put that off to the side for now, and I'm going to make another one just like that. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 spacers, that bicone crystal, and 2 spacers. And that's going to be the 2 outside dangles for this earring. Okay. Now the middle one we're going to do on an eye pin, and I'm going to make sure that I close these loops up. Actually, yeah, these 2 I'm going to close up because I'm going to attach these with jump rings. So I'm going to make sure that those loops are closed up really good. Finish closing them up. He keeps wanting to turn on me. Hard to get a grip on that little bead. Okay, there we go. Those are closed up. Now I'm going to do the middle dangle on an eye pin because I need to add this cross at the bottom with a jump ring. Okay, so for this one I'm just going to use 1 spacer at the bottom, 1 of the crystals, and another spacer. And I'm going to make sure that when I do my 1-step looper, I'm going to make sure that I make my loop facing the same way. So if this one is turned laying flat, I'm going to make sure that this one is going to be flat as well. So they're both going in the same direction. So I don't have to twist it later. Okay. Now I'm not going to worry about closing this one up because I am going to leave it, and I'm going to attach this to the chandelier finding without a jump ring because I want them to face this way in order for my next jump ring to have my cross facing forward. Okay, so I'm not going to add that one with a jump ring. Now, everything else, I have my chain link cut, and I used, I learned my lesson from the bralette earrings. I used a bigger link on my chain. It's not much bigger, but it's still bigger than that little fine one. So there's 4 links in each little piece, and that's going to be in between the crystals. Now I just had my other, there it is. Okay, I was going to say I just lost it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start attaching things. Now I did use a bigger jump ring. I think this might be like a 6mm jump ring. Could be an 8, I'm not really positive. But anyway, it's a little bit larger because I need that to go into this cross bead. Like that. Okay, so I think the smaller one would have been too small. It needs to be like so. Alright, so now I'm ready to start attaching everything with my jump rings. So I'm going to start opening a jump ring. I'm going to pick up my first one and attach it to this earring, chandelier finding, like so, and close that one up. Okay, that one's closed really good. So now my next one is going to be part of the chain link. So I'm going to grab a piece of my chain much easier than the briolet. Those earrings were, those chain gave me such a fit. It was so small. Alright, so we have two components on so far. The next one is going to be the eye pen link. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this eye pen, put on the finding, and close that up. Okay, let me just make sure it's really closed really good. Don't want anything falling off. That would not be good. Okay, and now the next one's going to be chain again. So I'm going to grab another jump ring. I'm going to add that little cross on last. Right, we need the chain. Add it to our earring and close it up. Alright, like I said, these are really quick and easy earrings. So I wanted to go ahead and share that with you to show you that, you know, these earring findings, these chandelier findings completely change the look of just dangle crystals. I mean, like, it really does add so much to it. Alright, let me close this one up. And so there we have it. That's how it's looking so far. We just need to add our little cross on. So I am going to open my cross, connect it to this bottom link on that eye pen that we used for the middle one, and close that up. Alright, so because we used the eye pen and didn't, oh, I need to close this up a little bit more. Hold up, guys. Alright, because we didn't use a jump ring on the middle one here, it's laying the right way. If I would have used a jump ring, it would have made it lay this way. So that's why I didn't use a jump ring for the middle one. So now all I have to do is attach my earring wire. Make sure it's facing the right way. And I do love how that little flat back crystal just really adds to, gives it a little extra sparkle up here on top on that silver. And that is it. These are done as well. Let me hook it onto here so we can kind of get a better look at what we have. Okay. So there we have it. A couple of pair of earrings using these really pretty chandelier findings from BeeBeeCraft. And they weren't hard to make. Didn't take a long time to make, but they're super pretty, and I really do like these. It reminded me of little gift packages. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Please click on subscribe and also on the notification bell so that you can get notified every time I upload a new video to YouTube. And if you haven't checked out my Facebook group, make sure you go check out that. I will leave the link for that as well in the description box, as well as the link for BeeBeeCraft and for the chandelier findings. So until the next video, guys, bye.